it's more than just, the infrastructure and providing network, but really creating that digital experience that people that keeps people connected. People are falling victim to these scammers, and they're getting cleverer and cleverer.
Yeah.
So we also thought, we can be clever too and find a way to get people to understand that, we're here to protect them.
Hi, welcome to BackChat, and today I've got a very special guest, someone I happen to have known for over 20 years, and this is a very special person, and we are joined by Kasuba Sikamo, the head of brand and communications at Airtel Zambia. Kasuba, welcome.
Thank you so much, Choolwe. It's good to be here.
Thank you for according us your time. We've been trying to get you on in your busy schedule.
And we got here eventually.
We got here eventually.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you for coming. How's it been? How's everything going with you?
No, I mean, life is lifing. Things are busy, but it's been great. I enjoy the space at Airtel. I know we're going to talk a lot more about that. It's my first time in the telco space, so I'm learning quite a lot, but also getting quite comfortable with, what that world is about.
Okay, so tell us a bit about yourself and about the work you do with Airtel.
Okay, so essentially I'm part of the marketing department, which is actually quite massive at Airtel. And my unit is brands and communications. So what we do there is we're basically custodians of the Airtel brand in Zambia, obviously working with group, but we basically look at the brand outlook, the brand perception, how we build the brand within the country, all the billboards that you see, or everything you see in the trade, that is what falls under my department, and the communications that we do on digital media, traditional media, TV, radio, all those things. So that encompasses pretty much what it is that I do, and the brand strategy as well, how we're going to position the Airtel brand in the minds of the Zambian people.
Okay, all right. So talking about brand strategy, could you tell us about some of the initiatives you're working on this year and what's also coming in the future?
Yeah. So one initiative that particularly excites me that we're doing right now is our spam protection campaign.
Okay.
So this is pretty much a service that is free of charge to our users. They don't have to download anything, but it lets them know when a message is a potential spam message. Using AI, so within milliseconds, it's able to detect based on behaviors of the sender, behaviors of different messages that contain similar messages, and just label it as potential spam. And this just allows someone to raise their awareness when they read the message. It might not always be spam, but it gives them that idea that, oh, this is something that I need to look out for, and it could be dangerous for me if I click a link or respond or give this person a call. So that's quite an exciting campaign that we're doing. It's more of an answer to a wider problem that we're seeing in the country, where scammers have become,
they're so problematic.
Yes, they've become really problematic, and people are falling victim to these scammers, and they're getting cleverer and cleverer.
Yeah.
So we also thought, we can be clever too and find a way to get people to understand that, we're here to protect them. So right now it's at SMS, and we're hoping that we can, evolve to links as well, link detection, and eventually voice.
And I think it works because I've noticed a reduction, and I'm wondering, I'm like, oh, I don't get these messages anymore. And then you can check your spam folder, you see a number of different numbers who I'm sure those are the ones that are like flagged, so it's working.
Yeah.
So well done to you and your team.
Thank you.
So Airtel is one of the largest private sector investors in Zambia's telco space. How does the company view its role in shaping Zambia's digital economy, seeing that we're going, we're catching up, we're trying to catch up with other countries? What are you doing as an entity?
Okay, so I mean, for us, it's more than just, the infrastructure and providing network, but really creating that digital experience that people that keeps people connected. So while we do have a wide range of network sites across the country, I mean, we have the largest, we have 4G everywhere actually, and we have the largest 5G network. This is quite important for us, but it also is important that we bring the rural or underserved areas along as well. 2G is a very big space for us, which is the feature phones, what we call TDDs.
Yeah.
And
Toughies.
you know, we're trying to we're trying to bring them along in that
okay.
digital transformation journey where we have this 4G installed, and we want to empower them to be able to get smartphones. So we have device financing and things like
Okay.
that. So that's, you know, one of the ways that we try to make sure that we're part of this digital transformation journey.
Okay.
We're embarking on a project where we are including more towers on our network.
Okay.
So building up urban towers that might have been over capacity, but also installing new towers in areas that previously haven't had towers. Yeah.
So by the way, I've got one of those. I've got two. But anyways, okay. So mobile money, it's a very big thing in Africa, and as Airtel, you are a very important peace organization that helps money transactions happen. Could you tell us more about what you're going to do this year in terms of in your role with your department? Also, how does that look like in terms of the contribution to the economy, and just how big is mobile money in Zambia?
No, mobile money is huge. It's huge in the country, and recently we've been working very closely with regulators to, you know, enhance financial inclusion, because this basically gives banking solutions to the underbanked. So we've supported this by my Airtel app, which is you know, your self-care platform where you can do all sorts of transactions, pay your bills. We're trying to make it easier for people to transact, people to be included in the financial economy. I mean, I don't want to disclose numbers, but you know, it is quite a big you know, growing industry. I mean, we have 11 million customers, and about 4 million of those are using mobile money. So it is continuing to grow. And the great thing is, even if you don't have a smartphone, you can still access mobile money services. So it can reach any part of the country that has a network.
Please, you could tell me later. Not everyone needs to know. But yeah, so you were talking about including everyone and connecting everyone. And of course, it's a global village, and we're moving towards we're going digital. So inclusive connectivity is important for growth. How do you think the current administration is improving access to technology across the country, and how is Airtel helping to do this as well?
I mean, we fully support the 8th National Development Plan. You know, digital inclusion, digital infrastructure, and all of these things are something that we work very closely with the Ministry of Technology and Science along. One of the big things that we've done is we've partnered with the Ministry of Education and UNICEF to bring what is called the Learning Passport, and this just allows for digital education in schools. So Airtel supplies data and routers to over 900 schools in the country right now, and this number is growing.
That's amazing.
So this just means that we know the need for, you know, ICT skills in the country, and that's something that we are helping, you know, to develop.
Okay, no, that's amazing. So how does that look like in terms of longevity? Is it at the infant stage, or is it progressive? Like, how are you actually doing it? And also the implementation, is it with the ministry? How much of a role does Airtel have in actually facilitating this? Okay,
so UNICEF provides the platform.
Okay.
The Ministry of Education provides us with the database of schools through the Digital Education Board Secretary. And for us, we vet these schools, and we also provide, like I said, the data and the routers on a month-on-month basis. So we make sure that these devices are always connected to the internet. This is a growing project. It's not something that is dormant or that we launched and just, you know, let go, but we are onboarding schools. You know, every year that passes, we onboard new schools into the project.
Okay, so I'm about to ask you something that's a bit, you know, something that usually happens. And in your role as brand and communications, when you're faced with a crisis, so we've had incidences and situations where maybe the internet goes off or the network is not that great. From your side, because maybe people don't understand, they're just going to come onto social media and attack, they don't know the processes of what's happening. Could you sort of give us an idea when there's a crisis, it happens, maybe it's even easier over a weekend because there are not many people that are at work. How do you deal with it? How do you respond to people? And what's the way forward in terms of not, because Zambians can be difficult people, you know, how do you deal with the crisis, and what could be some of the causes when it happens?
I mean, it's a difficult one. Like I said, we have 11.2 million customers, and at any given time, when there's a crisis, you find that maybe 200,000 are affected. And so even the means of communication has to be carefully considered, because you don't want to raise alarm, and you don't want you know, people thinking that it's possibly a nationwide problem. So we try to channel the communications to affected base. But if it is something that is very big, then we definitely use our digital media platforms. And we also do engagements with government stakeholders, ZICTA, who is our regulator, and we talk about what course of action will be taken. So we have what is called a steer call, and this group of people basically responds to crises or makes sure that they don't happen when they do. So it involves a team of communications, corporate affairs, which is actually separate from my role, and the networks team, as well as senior management, you know, individuals. So that's how we tackle these issues. In terms of causes, so we've, you know, just come off the back of a serious drought in the country, which affected water levels and obviously has affected power supply. Now all network towers are connected to the grid. So this means that even if they have backup, at some point they need grid to charge batteries.
True.
Or when generator fuel runs out and it has to be replaced. So this can cause outages. But what we have done as an organization is we've installed new upgraded batteries in towers, and also increased supply of diesel to generator sites, so that there's a longer backup period when longer periods of no power are experienced.
Okay, that's amazing. So I'm just curious. So when you have maybe an outage or something happens, are there ever situations where if your tower is down, can you use another network's tower to keep your network going?
I think this is a really interesting question, because the perception is that we own the towers. We don't. We own some towers, but we have tower partners. And these tower partners are the people who supply basically the tower infrastructure for all the MNOs. So we partner with them, and there are times when we do rent space from MTN or from Zamtel, and so it does happen.
I was just curious because I thought the same, but maybe for the people that are listening and watching, for them also to get some sort of clarity. So that's very interesting. So how important are brand communications at Airtel and in Zambia more generally build investor confidence and trust in the Zambian private sector?
So I always say brand and communications, marketing, what most people would just call marketing.
Some people confuse it.
Yes, exactly. But anyway, it's still a growing skill, or a growing, what can I call it? Like, a lot of people underrate the impact and power that brand and communication has on any economy, because if you're not communicating about what it is you can do, what it is that you have, you're pretty much operating in a silo, and nobody knows about you. So it's a very strategic function. It's more than just, you know, plastering a billboard somewhere. It has to be data driven. It has to consider, you know, revenue and return on investment. And this is actually why I was saying, like, being in the telco space has completely shifted, you know, my view of brand and communications, in the sense that we are very serious about what is the return on investment of any activity that we do. So sometimes people will be like, oh, you don't do this and you don't sponsor these and all of those things. It's because we want our brand and communications activities to be meaningful, not just to the brand, but also to the Zambian people, and making sure that the impact that we're making also has an impact on the bottom line. Because at the end of the day, it is a business. So it
needs to make sense.
Exactly.
It needs to make sense. All right. No, thank you for your time. This has been BackChat with Kasuba Sikamo. And Kasuba, whenever I have a problem, if the network is down, I know who to call. But once again, thank you for your time. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.